Please subscribe to our channel by pressing the subscribe button and the bell icon to receive updates on new videos.
So I am here today to tell you about what we are going to show you in each episode. What are the segments that we are going to discuss in each episode. Every episode we have designed in such a way that it's a combination of 5 or more than 5 segments. What are they? Of course, this same order may not be followed, but I would like to tell you the segments. There will be conversation, story narration, then you would also find an inspirational incident from Grace's personality's life, or an anecdote or a parable, grammar, and a quote for you to think over. Now I shall tell you individually about these segments. So first I had mentioned about conversation. So conversation is supposed to be between two people. They would come and discuss some issue before you. Then when they discuss, note down what are the points that they are discussing. You would have a story narration. A story would be narrated to you, and on the screen you find the scrolling coming up. Follow the scrolling and the narration. Try to learn the new vocabulary which is being used, the grammar, the structures, etc. Then another segment where either we would have inspirational incidents from great personalities' lives, or an anecdote or a parable which would be narrated to you. Once again the same point comes in. Observe. Observe the vocabulary that is being used, the structures, the grammar that is being used. And in another segment, we would directly discuss grammar for you, because grammar is the backbone of the language. So in the grammar, we would give the explanation for that topic. There will be some nice examples, the usage part, and also exercises which either would be in this episode or the next episode. Now sometimes these grammar issues also, they may not be completely discussed in one particular episode. Sometimes they may be carried over to the next episode and so on. And we would also show you one quote, one inspirational quotation. When that quote is shown, think about that quote, cogitate on it, try to understand and imbibe that idea and follow it in your life. So this is how we have made it a mixture of different things put together, and with the main aim, only one aim, that is learning of English. English is a language, and to learn the language you need to expose yourself to many things. So that's how we have designed these episodes, and I hope you will be able to learn the language quickly and easily. That's what each episode of our telecast would be giving you. Okay? So right away we shall get into the episode. Now we have some grammar for you.
Hi everyone.
Hi ma'am.
Okay, good. You're ready for the class?
Yes ma'am.
That's wonderful. I remember giving you some work.
Yes ma'am.
What's it? Collecting advertisements.
Yes ma'am.
Good, good. Are
Yes,
you ready
ma'am.
with that?
Yes ma'am.
Okay. They're looking colorful?
Yes.
Okay, good, good. Yakub, you're from a village, I believe.
Yes, ma'am.
How does your village look? How is it?
My village is very beautiful.
Beautiful. That's great.
And surrounded with some trees.
Are they green?
Yes, ma'am.
Green trees. Good, good.
It has one river.
Okay. It's a long river.
Yes, ma'am.
A perennial too. You know what is perennial? Okay, good. That means it has water in all seasons.
It has water in
Oh,
our
good, good, good. In summer too.
Yes, ma'am.
Very good, very good. Are you from Hyderabad, Hari Krishna?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. How is Hyderabad?
Hyderabad is a metro city. It's a very
Metropolitan?
large metropolitan city. It's a very large city,
Mm-hmm.
and the population is very high,
Mm-hmm.
and pollution also very high.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we can see greenery in some areas.
Some areas. Okay.
And it's a tourist
Mm.
tourism city also.
Mm-hmm.
It is very developing.
It's a tourist place.
Yes, tourist
Good,
place.
Good. Mm.
Its growth rate is very high
Uh-huh.
compared to
Uh-huh.
other cities.
It's fast growing.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and it's in cost of living also
Mhm.
very reasonable, and it's fourth place in the world for best living cities.
Best living places. That's
Yes, ma'am.
great. A good information.
Yes.
Good, good. So, Anita, what words are very catchy in their sentences? Metro city, good. Okay. Mm-hmm. High, right. Population. Mm. Mm-hmm. Right. And in Jakub's sentences? Uh-huh. Very beautiful. Good. Mm-hmm. Right. It has a lovely river. Mm-hmm. Right. Good. It's green and clean. Hmm? Okay, a green area. Right. Good, good. What are these? What are they telling us? You saw that I have underlined a few words. Can you? Yeah, okay, that's great. So they are describing words. Okay, good. So today our lesson is on descriptives only. In grammar words, we call them as adjectives. Right? They are adjectives. As Hari Krishna said, Hyderabad is a metropolitan city. So geographically, Hyderabad is a metropolitan city, but culture-wise, we call it as a cosmopolitan city. Right? Because we find people from different cultures who come and live in Hyderabad. Good. And do we have historical places in Hyderabad?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So there are many historical places in Hyderabad, and of course there are amusement parks also.
Yes.
Good. What about shopping malls?
So many are there.
Big,
Big.
overcrowded
Overcrowded.
shopping malls we have. Good, good. How are the roads?
Roads are somewhere they are good, and somewhere very
Okay. Can we find wide roads?
yes.
Right. And narrow lanes? Good, Anita. Narrow lanes. Good. How about population?
Population is very high. Dense.
Okay, okay. So is it a overpopulated city?
Yes.
It's over.
Right. So Hyderabad is overpopulated. Okay. And what about pollution?
Pollution is also very high.
Okay, okay. Right. So we can say over polluted
Polluted.
also. Good. Right. Next. What else do you know about Hyderabad?
It's a tea hub.
How is life here?
It is
Okay. So the life is very busy.
we can see different cultures here.
Okay. Life is busy here. Okay. Right. Do we have a cultural village in Hyderabad?
Yes, I think Silparamam.
Oh, great. Right. Shilparamam. Shilparamam is a cultural village here. Good. Right. So, in these cases, so you described a place here, that is a village you described and a city also you described. So, adjectives describe the places. Good, right. Now, I come up with a description, right. Try to identify the person, right. Anita, he is very tall and dark complexioned, right. You can't call him completely dark complexioned, you can also call him as a wheatish brown, right. He is very tall and very thin, you can call him as slim. He must be in his 70s, right. He has a long oval face, right. A very small but sparkling eyes, has got a soft hair, short and soft hair, and a grey beard and moustache, right. He has a wonderful bass voice. He's a very active person. Though he is in his 70s, he actively participates in many programs. And he is a celebrity too. Can you guess who he is? He is very tall, very thin. He must be in his 70s. Yes, Hari Krishna?
I think he is Amitabh Bachchan.
He is Mr. Big B, Amitabh Bachchan. You are right, very good. So, here what we did is, we described a person. Right, good. So, as now, I would like to show you something. What is it?
It's a water bottle.
It's a water bottle. Good. How is it?
It is in green color.
It's green. So, the color is more attractive, I believe. Right, okay, good. Next.
It is not very small and very large, it's medium.
Okay. So, approximately
It can carry
500 ml water you can fill in this.
Yes.
Okay, good, good. So, what is the shape of this bottle? Is it round
It's
or rectangular?
normal. It's a
Cylindrical?
Cylindrical.
Oh, good. This is cylindrical. That's great. Does it have a firm base
Yes, ma'am.
or is it tilting?
No, it's a firm
So,
base.
it has a
Firm
firm base. That's good. And
Waterproof.
um,
Leakage proof. Leakage proof. Yes.
Okay, leak
Leakage
proof. That's good. Why is it leak proof?
It's not, when you inverted, the water is not coming from the bottle.
Yes, Anita? The cap is very tight. Okay, so it has a tight cap. Good. The color is green. The shape is cylindrical and the base is firm and the cap is tight. So, what are all these?
Qualities.
Yeah, and what is the material?
Plastic.
It's a plastic, right? It's made of plastic. So, material also we have.
Describe.
Yes. Now, this is thing. What are these places, persons and things?
Those are
Places, persons and things. What are they called?
nouns.
Nouns. That's good. So, these adjectives describe the nouns, right? So, when they describe the nouns, they come with different category of words, right? You find them here: metro, a metropolitan city, high population, very beautiful place, lovely river, green area, green trees, wide roads, narrow lanes. So, all they are describing only, but in their descriptions also, supposing you say Mr. KCR is the first Chief Minister of Telangana, right? When we say first, right, you two are sitting in the first row and Anita is in the second row. So, what is it telling us about?
Telling about position.
Position. So, the rows, first row, second row, so that means number, right. So, are there many trees in your village, Yakub? There are many trees. Good. How many flyovers are there in Hyderabad, Hari Krishna? Approximately. You need not tell me exactly.
Approximately near more than 10.
More than, I believe 20 plus. Okay. There are around 20 flyovers. There are around 20 flyovers in Hyderabad. 20. Right. Right. How much do you spend per a month on rent?
2000.
How much is the rent?
2000.
So you are coming up with a number, right? Amount, right? And color. So these all we are going to learn today. When adjectives describe the nouns, they are placed before the nouns like this, okay, or after the be forms. With the help of these two places, we can call them as adjectives, because parts of speech itself tells us parts of speech, means a word in which part it is used and what is it doing. Basing on that, we give it a name. And in the coming classes, you are going to learn adverbs also. Then there is a clash between adjectives and adverbs. So for that, I clearly tell you that adjective is always placed before a noun or after a be form. For example, it is a busy hour, right? This is a busy hour, you can say. So a busy hour, this is a noun, hour, and busy is adjective, right? We say she's beautiful. In this case, after she's beautiful, there is no noun. We just end the sentence here. So we have to take the help of this is, which is a be form, right? And in under verbs, you learn that what are be forms, what are do forms, what are have forms. So with be forms, am, is, or, was, were, like this. Good. So beautiful. So either it is placed after a be form or placed before a noun. So in these two places, when you find a word which describes the noun, then you call it as an adjective, right? Now the classification of adjectives, we can say there are many, but basically in our communication, what we concentrate on adjectives, I just let you know, right? Shall I erase?
Can we use
Yes, please.
adjective with pronouns?
No, you can't use adjectives with pronouns, right? You can use only with nouns. Supposing you say, if she's beautiful, you are speaking about the pronoun only, but you don't place this pronoun after the adjective. Do you say beautiful she? Beautiful she, we don't say, right? It can be used in the place of a subject, whereafter it has a be form and then adjective. But like this, you can't use a pronoun. Good doubt, right? So in this description of adjectives, if you question the noun, how or what kind of, right? What kind of a person is he? He is a
Honest person.
honest person, right? Right. How are the roads during the peak hours?
Very busy.
The roads are busy roads, right? Do you have friendly atmosphere in VIOL?
Yes, we have.
A friendly classroom or place, right? Right. And then do you sometimes do you like to give quick answers,
Yes.
right? Quick reply. So like this, when you question how and what kind of, only nouns, you are questioning the nouns, then the adjectives which we use are speaking about quality of the noun, right? Quality. Then these, the appearance as well as the quality we are writing here, right? Strong. Okay, this is very strong. It's strong. Okay, like that we can say strong.
Strong.
What else do we use?
Strong, smooth.
Right, strong, smooth, busy, tall, and you are also using wide, right? Wide and
Huge.
friendly, right? Beautiful, sincere. Okay, like this, the quality we denote with this strong, smooth, busy, etc. Then, if we question the noun as how much, right? How much plus noun, it speaks about quantity, right? In this quantity only, again we can go with the number, measurement, amount, right? Amount. Supposing when you speak about this number, actually this is not the number which we are speaking about, but we are just only concentrating on uncountable nouns, right? Uncountables only. So here amount and measurement we take, because when you say a spoonful of and all, we call it as a number, but it doesn't exactly come under number. So we are dealing with numbers, numerical adjectives, right? In measurement we say 1 kilo, 500 ml, right? 500 ml, 10 kilometers, etc. Then in amount we have 2000, as Hari Krishna said, he's paying 2000 for the
Rent.
rent. Then next you can also say the amount as rupees 500. So this book costs 500 rupees. So how much? So here we get how much. Then the other one is how many. This speaks about number. In this also we have two kinds of numbers, cardinal numbers, ordinal numbers. Supposing like this, if numbers are there, we speak them as countables, countable nouns. If we have first, second, third, fourth, like that, they are ordinal numbers because they are speaking about the order. They speak about order. So with this, we don't use this how many. We just use only with this. How many chairs are there in the classroom? Right? There are 50 chairs here. Then this 50. Right? So that one. And last, what? Color. Right. You said green trees, right? White board, green bottle, white paper. Good. So then color like pink, green, white, grey, like that, but don't use the word color after it. Just say pink, white, green, black, etc. Right? Okay, good. So these are the adjectives which we learn here. Hare Krishna, you have an advertisement
Yes,
with
ma'am.
you. Can you please read it out?
2 days to go. To
Okay.
enroll in the online challenge to improve your English. Stepathon.
Right?
13th March to 23rd April.
Okay.
This World English Day, show the world you have
Be a
improved.
bit louder.
This World English Day, show the world you have improved your English.
Okay.
Enroll in Stepathon, a novel, expert designed online
Okay.
program.
A novel, right?
Expert designed online program
Expert, right?
that
Design
will-
program.
that will help improve your English.
Okay, good.
In fact, an hour every day for less than 40 days is all it takes. On 23rd April, World English Day,
Right?
you can take the Stepathon Grand Finale test with the thousands of others and show the world how much better you have become in English.
Okay.
That's it.
Good. Thank you. Yakub, what about your advertisement?
The promise of pure,
Okay.
great tasting water at
Pure, great tasting
water at unbelievable prices.
Good. Unbelievable. Okay. So this is about a water purifier. Good. A water purifier. Good. Anita, can you tell me some other examples using this a novel or expert, 23rd April grand finale, like that, either grand or pure or great, any other sentences? This is a great experience. Good. Tell me something with unbelievable. The records of Bahubali. You're interested in movies. So what about the records of Bahubali? The collection. Is it believable or unbelievable? Okay. The record collections of the Bahubali are unbelievable. Good. Very good. Right. What about you, Yakub? Grand? Any wedding or?
In Hyderabad, some people are waiting.
Some peoples or people?
Some people.
Okay. Celebrate the weddings grandly, but they like to have grand weddings, grand occasions. Okay, good, good. So we can say the grand celebrations, okay, attract many guests, right? Grand. Good. Very good. Nice. So what is tasty? How's the food today? Was it tasty?
Yes, ma'am.
So do we call tasty also an adjective? Good. So have you learnt adjectives now?
Yes, ma'am.
So what kinds of, what different adjectives have you learnt?
Now, adjectives can define a quality,
Quality,
quantity,
quantity,
and
amount, number and color too. Color too.
yes.
So what is that PV Narasimha Rao's express highway?
It's a.
How long?
It's a-
Actually, what's the length of that
I think
highway?
it's around 11 kilometers.
Flyover? 11 kilometers.
11 kilometers.
So it is an 11 kilometer highway. Expressway or highway, say. See here, 11 kilometers separately you call it as a noun. But when it is speaking about highway, this 11 kilometer becomes an adjective. And there is no es here. So this is wrong, s is wrong here. Good, thank you.
Now, listen to two friends discussing some important issue.
Hi Mansi.
Hi Varsha.
I think we need to discuss something about physical fitness today. I think physical fitness is not just about being physically fit, and not just about being externally fit. It is about being mentally fit as well, so that you are healthy and happy inside and out. Yeah?
Yeah. In fact, when a person is physically fit, the chances of them being healthier and happier in their life is much higher. Because if you notice, if a person, regardless of their age, they could be younger or they could be elder, but if a person has some sort of body problem like knee pain or back pain or even sinus and migraine, there will always be some sort of disturbance or unhappiness in them.
True. To be physically fit, healthy and happy, one must manage their lifestyle absolutely and properly. Managing your lifestyle will include your eating habits, your sleeping time, the time when you wake up and the number of active hours. Eating habits ante to eat food that is very healthy and very nutritious, like the food that is including vitamins, proteins, essential minerals, carbohydrates and fiber, and the very good source for all of this will be our home kitchen. Our home cooked food is the most healthiest food available, and you must also avoid eating junk, and one must also avoid drinking aerated drinks as well. One must also avoid smoking and alcohol to be internally fit and healthy. Now, coming to your sleeping habits, we all don't give importance to giving our body the essential rest that is required. We all end up sleeping very late or sleeping only for a few hours. Why? Either we have homework, we have deadlines the next day to meet, or we are on video call with our friends, or the very obvious thing that we all do today is WhatsApp. We are always chatting with somebody else or the other because we don't have time to talk to our friends. Yes, and that is what we do, and we end up compensating our sleep time. It is very essential that you give a break to your brain and body and sleep for 6 to 8 hours minimum. It is good that your body has to take that rest. Your brain should be able to sleep and wake up for the next day's activity.
But Varsha, what about those people who are working night shifts?
True. Those who are working for night shift, the moment they get back home, they have time to eat their meal and a number of hours for them to sleep and take rest. So, whether you're working in day shift or in night, you are supposed to manage your sleep habits so that your body is taking rest and then active the very next day. The next will be your number of active hours and time when you wake up. As in, active hours ante the time when you're waking up and time when you're sleeping. Morning to evening that you are active, you're actively working, your brain is active, your body is active, you're able to do a lot of physical work all by yourself. That is also very important. So, it is good that you wake up on time, you finish your work, you eat properly, eat healthily, sleep on time so that your body is ready for the next day.
Indeed. Now, there are so many things that we can do to stay physically fit. One of them is walking. Walking is called the queen of exercise because when we walk, every part of our body is given movement.
True.
Another thing we can do is to go cycling. Now, cycling is fun, but it is also very good for our heart, our lungs, and for the rest of our respiratory system. A third thing that we can do, which will move every part of our body, is swimming. Swimming is one of the few sports in which every limb is given movement. That means our hands, our legs, nerves, muscles, bones, our breathing, everything is exercised. It's a wonderful way to keep our body fit.
Exactly.
And finally, of course, we can't forget there is yoga. something that has been suggested by our ancestors and so many people for thousands of years.
And
A wonderful
it is followed
way.
by millions as well.
It's now followed by millions. We even have an international yoga day. It is definitely something we should do to stay fit. Finally, suppose your friends, family or your relatives come to spend some time with you and your family. Instead of staying at home and doing some activity, I suggest that all of you go outside and play some sports. Because any kind of sport, it can be cricket, football, even playing frisbee. You are giving movement, you are exercising and also you are having fun. Now one really important point. Many of us see advertisements on TV where you see people with abs and big muscles, and we get this wrong notion that being physically fit means having all those kinds of muscles in our body. But that is not true. Being physically fit means that you give every part of your body the proper and sufficient amount of exercise and movement that is needed for you to stay healthy and happy for the rest of your life.
Exactly. Now, when each of us are properly and regularly following and doing physical fitness every day, then we will be able to be healthy from inside and out, live longer, happy and healthier.
Let us listen to a story.
So, very often we find that there are people who are very wary of, or they don't trust, they don't believe that God exists. Here there was a professor at a university who challenged his students with this question: did God create everything that exists? Now here we come to the story, the genius. The professor who thought he was a genius. When the professor asked this question, a student answered bravely, yes, he did. The professor then asked, if God created everything, then he created evil. Since evil exists, as noticed by our own actions, so God is evil. The professor wanted to make the students feel that God did not exist, and if at all he existed, God is evil. The student couldn't respond to that statement, causing the professor to conclude that he had proved that belief in God was a fairy tale and therefore worthless. So the professor believed that it was a myth. God didn't really exist. It was only a superstition. So another student raised his hand and asked the professor, may I pose a question? Of course, answered the professor. The young student stood up and asked, Professor, does cold exist? The professor answered, what kind of a question is that? Of course, cold exists. Haven't you ever felt cold? The young student answered, in fact, sir, cold does not exist. According to the laws of physics, what we consider cold is in fact absence of heat. It is possible to study anything as long as it transmits heat or energy. Absolute zero is a total absence of heat, but cold does not exist. What we have done is create a term to describe how we feel if we don't have body heat or we are not hot. And does darkness exist? He continued. The professor answered, of course. This time the student responded, again you are wrong, sir. Darkness does not exist either. Darkness is in fact simply the absence of light. Light can be studied, darkness cannot. Darkness cannot be broken down. A single ray of light tears the darkness and illuminates the surface where the light beam reaches. Darkness is a term that we humans have created to describe what happens when there is no light. Finally, the student asked the professor, sir, does evil exist? The professor replied, of course it exists. As I mentioned in the beginning, we see violations, crimes, and violence in the world, and those things are evil. The professor wanted to say that people are forever breaking rules, fighting against each other, killing each other, and there's such a lot of violence in the world. So if there is evil, God cannot be there. The student responded, sir, evil does not exist. Just as in the previous cases, evil is a term which man has created to describe the result of the absence of God in the hearts of man. After this, the professor bowed down his head and didn't answer. The young man's name was Albert Einstein. So what a beautiful way of showing that God does exist. If we don't go to God, it is not God's fault. It's up to us to believe in God and to do what we feel is best in life.
Now, listen to this parable and try to find out the language elements.
Today let us know the value of teamwork through a small parable. Now the story goes as, once upon a time there was a rich merchant. He had 4 daughters. Each daughter had a lot of positive capabilities and abilities within her. Each daughter was able to conduct herself exceedingly well, and they were doing very well for themselves. The merchant thought, today I am there, I am alive, I am able to take care of my daughters are taking care of me. Tomorrow if I am not there, my daughters should not only take care of themselves, they should take care of their sisters, of this entire family as one. Now they are all exceedingly well individually in their own way, but they should also learn how to work collectively. But the father was not able to put forward this idea to the daughters. So he thought, let us make it a practical way of teaching them. One day the father sat and he made all his 4 daughters sit in front of him. He brought a bunch of sticks. He gave one stick to each of his daughter and he said, why don't you try breaking the stick? So each daughter thought, I am good enough to break the stick, I am strong enough to break the stick. Each daughter were able to break the stick in 2 very easily. Then the father gave each of those daughters 2 sticks. Then the father said, why don't you try breaking this into 2? Now the daughters tried. It was slightly difficult, but they were able to manage and break it into 2. Then the father gave each of those daughters 4 strong sticks. Now the father said, why don't you try breaking this? The daughters sat, they tried hard, no matter what they did, the stick didn't even crack a little, let alone even bending. The stick didn't even crack. They tried breaking, but it didn't. Then each of the daughters started giving up. She said, father, I can't break this. 4 together is so difficult. Individually I could break, but 4 together will be a slight problem for me. Every daughter started saying the same story. Individually I can, but 4 collectively is too strong for me to break. So the father said, what did you understand by this? The same way, the 4 sticks is so difficult to break. Now when each of you work collectively and be together as a team and work, conduct yourself as one family, it will be difficult for the society or for the situation to break you also. There are several situations that we deal with in our personal or in our professional life, and there are chances that it might affect us, it might break us, but we need to work together as a team, as a family, and move forward in life. So you should learn the value of teamwork, the value of your own family. Teamwork is seen everywhere, but the first step is taken in our own family. That is what the father wanted to tell the 3 daughters, his 4 daughters. So he told, just like the sticks, each of you have the chances of breaking under pressure individually. The same way 4 sticks collectively was difficult. The same way 4 of you together as a team, as a family, will be impossible to break by any person or any situation. Whether I am there or not, you all need to work together, conduct yourself as a team, as a family, and move ahead in your life.
That was such a relevant story. It made a lot of sense to the concept of teamwork.
Exactly.
Thank you for sharing it with all of us.
Definitely, and thank you so much for watching this.